Hello, my dear friends. Today we are going to launch a new series over the important questions MCQ based series. All right, for your RBI Grade B examination 2024. In this series, we will try to cover all the important news articles that had appeared in the newspaper and from which the questions may be framed for your RBI examination. So let's start this series. It will be very smaller series. 5 to 6 questions would be covered in this series, and this series will continue till your examination. And one more request is there. If you like the series, then do hit the like button. All right. And if you have not subscribed our channel, Clarity for SEO, then subscribe it. Okay. Thank you. Let's start the series. So, this was the first important article that had appeared in the newspaper Business Standard on 6th of March 2024 only. All right. So, what was the article all about? Banks must give customer choice to select the credit card networks. Okay. So, banks need to provide the choice to the customers in order so they can select the network of the credit card, whether it should be Visa or Master, like credit cards. So let's see the question number one, uh, framed from this article only. According to the RBI press release dated 5th of March 2024, it asked the banks as well as non-banks to give choice to the customers so that they can choose the card network of their choice. Of their choice. Currently, what is happening? The customers cannot choose the card network of their choice for the credit cards. All right. So the choice of the network for the card issued to a customer is decided by the issuer right now and is linked to the arrangement that it has with the card network through bilateral agreements. These directions came with certain exceptions, but RBI came with this direction with certain exceptions. Exceptions were always important, so you need to identify which among these are the exceptions. So the first one it is talking about the clause allowing customers to choose card network. However, it is not applicable to card issuers whose active card base does not exceed 10 lakh subscriber. Okay, so this is right option. This is the right exception. They need to have the active card base for more than 1 lakh subscriber. Okay, or customer you can say. And the second option, further circular is not applicable to the card issuers that issue credit card on their own authorized card networks. So it will be restricted for those card issuers will be which is going to issue the credit cards on their own authorized card networks. So this option is also correct. Let's see the third option. For existing card holders, this option may be provided at the time of next renewal. Okay, so this option is also correct. So all the three exceptions are there. So from this, option number E would be correct. That is 1, 2, and 3. All right. So the points you need to remember that customers were provided with the choices of choosing their own credit card network. And the exceptions, what is the most important exception? With the issuer that they need to have a subscriber base of more than 10 lakh. Okay, let's move on to the another question, another important article. See, question number 2 is framed over this article. It had appeared on 6th of March only in the business Hindu business line about the Indian government securities inclusion in Bloomberg index. These are the international index, Bloomberg and JP Morgan. So there had been an announcement that Indian government securities would be included in these index. All right. So let's try to solve second number question. The inclusion of Indian government bonds, government securities into major global indices has been the topic of interest. All right. In this regard, identify the correct statement and mark the right option. So these are the statements. Let's see the statement one. The proposed inclusion of government securities in Bloomberg Emerging Market Local Currency Government Index. Remember, local currency government index. It had proposed the inclusion will be phased over 10 months starting from what? Is it June 2024? Let's see another option. JP Morgan. This is actually 31st of January, 31st January 2025. Okay. Remaining the statements were correct. It is 31st January, and this is, and the inclusion would not be in the see the second option. JP Morgan has decided to include India in its government bond index, uh, emerging market GBI EM index. This is the index of JP Morgan. The inclusion will be scheduled to commence from this year only, and this is 28th of June, 28th of June 2024. Okay, so by this option, number one is incorrect. Option number two is incorrect. Let's see the third option. Bond inclusion, bond index inclusion typically results in benchmark driven investments, providing access to larger and more diverse pool of external investment. Obviously, when Indian bonds, government securities will be included to international indices, then it will obviously like redirect more external investments. It will attract the more external investments, FPIs, like of things. They will also came to invest in the government securities. Okay, so this option would be correct. Option number three, the dollar inflow can lead to overall balance of payment surplus. Yes, if more and more FPI inflow would be there in the Indian market, then obviously the dollar inflow would be more, would increase. Okay, and by this the overall balance of payment surplus would be can be seen. Even though there would be current account deficit. See, the current account deficit is because of what? Trade, mainly because of trade deficit. All right, and we are always in the situation of trade deficit. So even if there is trade current account deficit, but there will be overall balance of, there can be, see the term can, there can be overall balance of payment surplus. So by this option number four would be also correct. So the correct option here it is option D, that is 3 and 4 on. Okay. So what you need to remember from this article, JP Morgan 28th of June 2024, and Bloomberg from next year, that is 31st of Jan 2025. Okay, and the name of the index, local currency government index and emerging market index for JP Morgan. Uh, let's see the another article. See, on 7th of March, it had appeared in the Hindu Business Line. RBI's VRR options see huge demand amid liquidity fluctuation. This was the news. So, since VRR, these concepts came in the newspaper, so we will try to find out the concepts behind this VRR and VRR. Let's see the question first. Which of the following statement is incorrect regarding liquidity management by the RBI? You need to identify the incorrect statement. Okay. So the first statement, RBI infuses liquidity whenever there is liquidity deficit through VRR operations. Is it correct? Do RBI infuses liquidity through VRR or VRR? So this option is incorrect. VRR is only tool available with the RBI for liquidity management. Oh, sorry, it is, you need to add, it is correct option. It infuses liquidity through VRR option. Let me correct it. VRR option, it infuses, and VRR, it actually sucks out the money from the market. Sucks out money from market, and through VRR, it actually injects money. Injects money into market. So this option is correct. Option number one, VRR is the only tool available with the RBI for liquidity management. No, there is another tool also for liquidity management. Option number two is incorrect. VRR is useful tool when there is surplus liquidity in the system. See, VRR, it actually sucks out from the system. So this is a necessary tool. So option three is also correct. RBI manages liquidity in the system through VRR operation as it wants to earn profit. Is it the motive of RBI? No. So it is actually liquidity management, not to earn profit. Rather, it is for the liquidity management. Okay. So option four is incorrect. Banks and other financial institutions have to compulsorily participate in VRR. or VRRR option, even though they do not possess excess or deficit fund. This option is also incorrect. So here you need to identify the incorrect statement in this question. So by this, we can say that option number D would be there. Like 2, 4, and 5 is incorrect. Rather, 1 and 2 is correct option. So here, this option D would be correct for this question. Let's try to understand the VRR and VRRR. See, VRR is conducted when there is liquidity deficit in the system. However, VRRR is conducted when there is liquidity surplus in the system. Okay, these are variable rate repo, and the VRRR is variable rate reverse repo. Okay, and it is for more than 1 day. Not unlike the repo and reverse repo, it is like from 2 to 14 days. Okay. Let's see question number 4. See, this was there in the news. RBI, in the RBI press release, and Bank of Indonesia signed a memorandum of understanding today, means on 7th of March, for establishing a framework to promote the use of local currency. Means it is talking about the internationalization of currency. Okay. So we have framed one question regarding this MOU. RBI and Bank of Indonesia. Remember, Bank of Indonesia over the international currency. Bank of Indonesia has signed this memorandum of understanding. Okay, so one like a single option statement questions can be framed that with which country RBI has signed the MOU. Our central bank has signed regarding the international of currency, so that the local use of local currency would be promoted. All right. So they have signed MOU for establishing a framework to promote the use of local currencies for cross-border transactions. This framework would enable exporters and importers to invoice and pay in their respective domestic currencies. It is obviously going to like benefit the exporter as well as importers, which in turn would enable the development of INR and IDR, Indonesian rupee, in a foreign exchange market. So, what are the potential benefit of internationalization of rupee? You need to identify the potential benefit. Let's see what would be the benefit. So, it will eradicate poverty from the country immediately. No, this statement is extreme. It is absolutely wrong. Uh, it will increase the India's influence in international market. Yes, obviously it will increase, and it will increase India's dependence on foreign currency. No, it is not going to increase the dependence. It is just talking about internationalization. It means rupee exchange will be possible more smoothly. And it will increase the use of rupee in international trade, which will increase the liquidity of rupee as currency. Obviously, absolutely true. This will help in increasing the acceptability of rupee as a currency. Yes, fourth number statement is correct. It will increase the trust among users of rupee as currency in international trade. This is also a possibility of rupee being held by other countries as a safe store of value. Yes, very good. This statement is also correct. So by this, we can say option number E is correct. That is 2, 4, and 5. Marking 1 and 3 is incorrect. All right. Uh, let's see another article regarding the Global Trade Barometer, GTB. Who publishes this Global Trade Barometer? Remember it. WTO, World Trade Organization, publishes this Global Trade Barometer. So this was there in the news regarding its first quarter study. So identify the correct statement and mark the right option about the GTB, Global Trade. Global Trade Barometer was developed by whom? WTO to complement conventional trade statistics and forecasts. Yes, the statement is true. It is released on quarterly basis. Is it on quarterly basis or half yearly basis or monthly basis? This statement is also true. Remember it. It is released on quarterly basis. It provides real-time data on the trajectory of mercantile trade relative to current trends. Okay. So it is giving the real-time data. This option is also correct. 1, 2, and 3 is correct. Values higher than 50 indicates above trend growth, and value less than 50 indicates below trend growth. It is not 50, it is 100 actually. Value higher than 100 indicates above trend growth, and values less than 100 indicates below trend growth. So by this, option C would be correct, eliminating the fourth one, 1, 2, and 3. All right. Remember these facts. The uh, WTO publishes global trade barometer quarterly basis, quarterly basis. Okay, and 100 is the like benchmark. Above 100, above trend growth. Below 100, below trend growth. Currently, India is like 100.1, I think. Okay, and another important point, providing the real-time information about the mercantile trade. Let's see another question, the last question of the today's series. So, interoperability of internet banking system in 2024, RBI's statement. RBI is working to allow interoperability of internet banking transactions, which is expected to be operational in 2024, and will facilitate quicker settlement of funds for the merchants, as government Kanta Das said. Okay, so the question regarding this statement, RBI has approved the implementation of interoperable payment system for internet banking transaction. The new system will facilitate the quicker settlement of funds for the merchant. Okay, and in this regard, RBI had approved Bharat Bill Payment Limited. Remember, it is important, Bharat Bill Payment Limited, to implement an interoperable payment system for internet banking transaction. You need to identify the correct statement regarding this digital payment. Okay, regarding the digital payment. So first option, India records for 22% of world's global digital transaction. Is it correct? It is not 22%, rather it is 46%. In this article only, this data was provided. So remember this data, that we are accounting like 46% of global digital transaction. It is a very huge percentage. Okay. UPI transaction now account to 80%. See, by this option one would be incorrect. Option number two, UPI transaction account for 80% of all digital payments. So this option is correct. UPI itself account for more than 80% of all the digital payments that is taking place in Indian Indian geographical area. Okay. RBI Governor Kanta Das said that the digital transaction in India have grown 90-fold in 12 years. This is the statement of RBI Governor, and this is also correct. It grows 90-fold, 90 times in last 12 years. Bharat Bill Payment Limited, to whom this interoperability function has been like responded to, it is a wholly owned subsidiary of NPCI. Is it? Yes, this statement is also correct. Bharat Bill Payment Limited, this is wholly owned subsidiary of NPCI. So by this 2, 3, and 4 is correct. Option number E would be correct. I have put some additional information regarding the payment vision 2025. Last year in 2023, a question had been framed from this only, and the question was that you need to identify the 4E. 4E mentioned in the core theme of this payment vision. First one is e-payment, everyone, everywhere, every time. Okay, so this year, just keep this in mind about the 5 anchor goalposts of this under this payment vision 2025. The first one is integrity, inclusion, innovation, institutionalization, and internationalization. These 5 I's. Okay, that's all for today. If you like this series, do comment in the comment box. If you have liked this series, hit the like button, share this series with your friends and colleagues, and subscribe our channel. Thank you very much.